Welcome to Kat's Creations Live, and I am Kat, and we're going a little bit early today. We are here in the state of Washington, and we are in between what's considered an atmospheric river. What that is storm after storm after storm of rain, and I am apprehensive that with this next one, it could potentially maybe cause us to lose power. So I thought I'd go early while there's a lapse in between the systems and cover a Merry Christmas Banner Wreath using some new ribbon and some new Deco mesh that just came in from Craft Outlet. But before we go ahead and get started, I want to remind you of a couple things. One, if you want to save this video and you're on Facebook, all you have to do is click the share button down below. It basically copy pastes this video from my page and puts it on your page. Super simple enough. If you were on YouTube and catching this as a replay, all you have to do is once you sign into your YouTube account, you can go ahead and click the save button, and this will save this tutorial to your YouTube account. Now, if you are, if you want to be notified when I go live, because sometimes we have to do some shifts, some changes in our schedules like today. So just to make sure you don't miss out on anything, if you are on Facebook, just make sure that you have liked this page and that you're also following the page. Like is already there. Follow is hidden under the three little dots. Click on that. It'll open up another sub menu. You just want to make sure that you have checked the box for following, and then you're all set. But you also have to be on your device when notifications pop up. If you were on YouTube, all you need to do is subscribe to this channel and you're going to be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. We'll go over the materials and then we'll get started. So give me just 1 second. Take you down pretty quick. So we are using this brand new mesh. This is called Breeze Mesh, just like you think about it. Breeze, like a winter breeze, a summer breeze. So it is non-metallic, but I'm actually loving this color. This is a new color. This is our hunter green for this year. So I thought it was only appropriate that we use this for a Christmas design. So 1 roll of hunter green breeze mesh cut to 20-inch pieces. You'll need 18 of them, and we'll be adding those to our 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. Then we are going to stay with the green color palette, but we're going to pop in some ivory and gold, and we're going to use this Merry Christmas banner sign. So this Merry Christmas banner sign is also from Craft Outlet. You can find that there if they still have any available. That is going to be our showpiece for the top. Then we're going to come in with new ribbon that just came out from Craft Outlet. So there is this hunter green with that cream. It has a lime glittered stripe down the center, 2.5 inch, again, Craft Outlet, and then also this sage green with that hunter green, a little darker green, and then the sage color on a diagonal plaid. On the 1.5 inch, both of these are brand new to Craft Outlet just now. So if you like these are also great for St. Patrick's Day as well. Then I'm going to be using some ribbon I bought last year. Is it last year? This is 2022. We're doing these pine trees. Should go this way. They are that hunter green, gold, and cream. 1.5 inch and 2.5 inches. These are from Joann's. We are also adding this diagonal plaid, I guess you'd call it. They're like little pine branches with little gold berries. This is from Hobby Lobby, and we're pairing that up with just a solid gold glitter, and this is from Michael's. So a little bit of everything from a little bit of everywhere. We are probably going to come back in and embellish it with some pine branches and pine cones, which you can get at Hobby Lobby. And the pine cones you can buy at Hobby Lobby. It depends on if you want the small ones, the medium size, or the large. That's entirely up to you. But we're going to kind of keep this a little natural and staying with the green the cream, and the gold. So let me go ahead and make sure I can review your comments. I see you guys popping up. Let me go ahead and type in the website below. This wreath is available for sale on my website only right now. So if you are interested in it, you can pick that up there. Private group is also still open right now for about another week or so, and then the doors will be closed for the remainder of the year. What that means is the group's not closing, you just can't join the group until after the first of the year. So there is that. So, hi Elizabeth, hi Donna, welcome. Two Donnas, Donna Horvath and Donna, looks like Espine. Blanche, welcome. Glad you caught me live. So we're going to go ahead and finish wiring together our Dollar Tree wreath frame. I've already done the first 5 sections. We're working on the 6th one. So we're just going to take our pipe cleaner and wire that together right in the center of each section. That'll make us our inside 6. And then we're going to do the same to the outside 2. And we're going to use the weld and that center to try to kind of find a center point for these so we can have 2 to the outside 2 in each section. That gives you 6 on the inside, 12 to the outside, grand total of 18. And we are off and running with our, we're going to do Deco mesh ruffles. We are ruffling against the curl. So you're just going to pretend that you have an invisible line right up the center. Pull that Deco mesh towards you. We're taking the finished edge and we're adding that right to the inside. We're going to grab these, give them a couple twists. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. I think I'll be pretty safe. Even though the sign is not circular and taking up quite a bit of room, I think with the other things that I have in mind, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start with just the middle 6. Oh, I said it right. S-Wine. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, Veronica. Welcome. So this is new mesh. You can cut this with the wood burning tool, which I have done. So I'm just going to flatten the ones to the outside so they are not in the way of me coming in and adding this. So this will be my first time using this Breeze mesh. I think I'm going to like it. I know for a XB type of a SKU number, we used to just say that meant extra bad, but I'm really impressed with the mesh quality on this one. So that's a good thing. Just like that. We're just going around and doing the 6 inside for now. Then we'll just focus on the outside. So I'm going to give them a couple extra twists. And then where it's not twisted, I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. Okay. Anytime you want to pop through. And then I'm going to push that end all the way back to the center. Just like so. It's going to start to resemble a little bit of a pancake wreath, but it is not the pancake method. Looks similar, but not the same. I guess we could have done pancake, but I'm not a fan of that method. I know it works really well for storm doors. But I don't know what it is. I think customers just like a little bit of a fuller wreath. I'm going to need to change these out because I need to either oil them or just toss them. I've had them for like 5 years. So honestly, I think they are just about done. They're just not quite cutting as well as they used to. I need to go grab my other ones. But for now, they'll work. So we are taking that finished edge, making sure that finished edge goes towards the center. Just like so. Trim that off, tuck that down, and then I just like to fluff these out because when we come in with the outside pieces, it's going to lay right on top of our center pieces. And then that should lay perfect at that point. So here's our last piece going in, right in the center. This would make for a good army wreath because it's that color, the army green. Tuck that back down. Let's get that to go inside. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, I fluffed them all out. This is not pancake. So from here, what I'm going to do is pull those outside two in each section, and I'm going to bring those forward because these two are actually going to lay on top of that center one and give it a really good coverage. So right on top. And these ones we are leaving on. So these pipe cleaners are going to stay, because these will house our ribbons and any embellishments that we decide to put on. But as you can see, they're going to lay really nice and give a really good coverage to that system. I like to take the ends and kind of bend the little edges down, because if it's going to fray, it's going to fray wherever we have cut our Deco mesh piece, which is going to be those edges. Hi Beck, welcome. She said, oh my god, I caught you live. Yes, welcome. I know, I've been thinking should go live because I have a lot of people that are on the other side of the continent, and for those folks, they're just stuck catching replays. So occasionally, I think what we might do is we might do like our early create so that those folks can join us as well. Not all the time, but just every once in a blue moon. Because I feel so bad. They either have to stay up super, super late to do that, or just catch replays. So they can never really ask the questions they have. Hi Sandy, welcome. Hi Vivian. So the mesh cut to 20-inch pieces. This is a Hunter Green Breeze mesh. This is new to Craft Outlet. I know somebody says that they've used the Breeze mesh before, but when I finished getting my order in yesterday, this came up as a new product. So I'm all about trying the new things to see, is it worth it or not? And I have to say, I'm impressed. I think I would buy this again. Granted, it does not have the metallic foils that I love, but if I was doing something that I wanted more of a matte base to, I would definitely use this. I'm thinking we're going to have to do an angel tree topper using this mesh too, because I really like this color. Okay, so making sure I've got all of my pieces laid flat. We'll grab the next two, bring them forward, so we're ready. Oh, Elizabeth, you got yours at Trendy Tree? Linda, Breeze mesh is just the type of mesh it is. So when I'm looking at it, it doesn't have the foils, but it does have these like little weird threads through it that have little holes in them. So I'm gonna have to look that up and see why they call it breeze mesh. But I love it. It's definitely very dark green. Elizabeth, you said you got yours last year. Did they have it in the hunter green? I'm gonna have to look and see, like, what else do they have that is new? Because I have to order some other things. I was gonna do our Hanukkah wreath today, but I didn't have enough ribbon. So I need to order the ribbon to finish it. So, and I kind of thought about that yesterday when I was building it. I was like, I don't think it's going to leave me with enough to do either tails or half bows on any of the color and any of the width. So, sure enough, I think like they were all different. Like one piece yielded me 2, another roll gave me 3, and I'm like, okay, this is not working. We're gonna have to just take this, table it, and hopefully, if we can get our mesh order in soon enough, we can get that settled for next week. Okay, so no, they did not have the hunter green. Okay, do you like the breeze mesh? I'm always looking for people's pros and cons, like what's the bad, what's the good. So far, no bad to report, other than so far what I've seen, no metallic foils. So that might be why. Okay, we're coming in, like I said, and just laying these on top of the 6 inside pieces. It reminds you of fabric mesh. It does. It does have a softness to it, but it's definitely different than fabric mesh. Okay, I'm going to grab my other 2, pull those out. It cut really well using the wood burning tool. So I know we have 2 more rolls. I will end up using one for the limited edition angels, Christmas angels for this year, in like that emerald green. And then I have another one. I haven't figured out, like, if I want to keep it for St. Patrick's Day or if I want to use it. Have not decided just yet. Couple more pieces. And then I wasn't sure which way on the sign I wanted to go. Because believe it or not, I did this entire design around the color of the mesh and the color of the new ribbon. I didn't even know if I had a sign that would work for this. Thankfully I did. So definitely, I mean, this is a color match we've been looking for a long time. This hunter green. Got the last 2 pieces to squeeze in here. So I'm just trying to get these last ones to lay flat. And then I'll grab this one, kind of pull that up, pull this one back so that I can squeeze those in. Do this one as well. It's very light, like light and airy. The fabric mesh is more expensive. Breeze mesh last year was $3.99. Then they raised the price. This one, when I bought it at Craft Outlet, it was $3.95. So, I don't know. This one went down at Craft Outlet. I don't know why. I like it. So this, for me, I would pick as an option over value mesh any day, because the price point is great and the quality is good. Just no fancy metallics. Last piece of mesh going in. Okay, slide this one right in. And then we'll get our ribbon tails going for this one. Okay, so sometimes I just like to prep my pipe cleaner so it's so much easier just to go around. I guess I could start doing that as I am working my way around instead of moving them to the left. Just position them so they're ready for the next step. Okay, so here is our ribbon combinations that I have selected. So the 1.5" are cut to 19 inches, and the 2.5 inch are cut to 14 inches. So we're doing this braided pine branch with gold berries, 19-inch pieces, 1.5" ribbon, Hobby Lobby, and then the pine trees on the green, 14 inches, 2.5 inch piece, Joann's. Then we have this combo, which is new this year, which is the 2.5 inch, the hunter green with the polka dots and stripes, paired with the sage and cream, 1.5". Again, 2.5 inches are all cut to 14 inches. 1.5" are all cut to 19 inches. Janet, this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. The mesh is a 10-inch hunter green breeze mesh cut to 20-inch pieces, 18 of those. Donna, did you notice fraying? Not when I cut it with a wood burning tool. So my 2.5 inch ribbon, I fold it in half so I can find the true center. That way when I put it inside my pipe cleaner, I have same lengths on both sides. And I put my hands underneath and bring those outward so it draws your eye out towards the edge. The 1.5", we're going to make half bows. So you bring your dovetail ends together. You're going to go up about 2 inches. You're going to pinch in. Okay. We're going to basically make a 3D awareness bow. So we're just going to twist those in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. That little end that's left over, I'm going to wrap this completely around the back of that loop. I'm going to open the loop itself. I have one side that is right way facing, the other side that's wrong. I'm going to flip this around. And then I'm going to lay that in between my 2.5 inch piece so you can see both, just like that. Now we're going to lay in the next combination. And I'm going to go stripes to the outside. So again, fold it in half so you can find the true center. Gather it up the center. Lay that right down on the inside of your pipe cleaner. Put your fingers underneath that 2.5 inch ribbon and fan it out. Dovetail your edges together. Go up about 2 inches, pinch in. And then we're going to lay that down right in the center. Couple twists. Cut the remainder off. You're going to take the remnant, stick that behind that loop, open the loop, right side the ribbon tail that is facing the wrong way. Okay, and then get that to where you can see both of them coming through in each of your sections, so that you will have a section that looks like that all the way around the wreath. So we're just going to keep doing that all the way around, just like so. Gather straight up the center. Lay that right on the inside. one complete twist, fan it outward, dovetail the ends together, up 2 inches, gather in, lay that right down inside, and then go ahead and give it a couple extra twists. Now the only reason I twist it so many extra times is just because, I don't know what it was. One time I just had one of my pipe cleaners come loose, and after that I was like, I'm going to give them extra twists now, just to make sure they inadvertently don't come out. Okay. So remember, I'm doing stripes to the outside. You can alternate. You can do like stripes one time. Maybe we'll do that. We'll alternate. We'll do stripes and then polka dots, and then stripes and then polka dots. Because sometimes it's nice just to have a different look. You don't have to do that. But sometimes just those subtle changes just give you a really unique look. And right around the back, open the loop. Right side for me, it's always the left tail. And then I'm going to make sure that everything is visible. And then back to our next set. So we're just doing these around the outside 12. Remember, we've already cut off the inside 6. Okay. What do you guys think of the color combinations thus far? Do you like this? You could come in with the ends of your pipe cleaners. You can add little ivory or gold balls. You can add little green glitter balls to the end. It's whatever you would like. Just to kind of add a little bit of a punch of color. You could introduce more of the gold into that design. Now we're going to do stripes to the bottom. This ribbon, while it's pretty, it's thin, so it's not a canvas. It's kind of like a polyester. It would have been nice if it was a nice canvas color, but the sage green is great. It's a really good quality ribbon. Tuck this around the back. Open this loop. Right side this half. And on to our next pair. Vivian says, beautiful. I wish I had your eye for color combinations. You know what's amazing, Vivian, is honestly after going on 8 years now, I just have a lot of ribbon available to where if I just start with a color, I can generally find something in my shop that will work with it. So that's an advantage I have that most of you don't, is you're kind of buying as you're putting your designs together. So that's why having this done, and because I only do one, and I'm fine with people replicating my designs, for private group members, you guys all get detailed materials lists that would basically allow you to take everything that I've gotten here and go shopping for, because you have where it was purchased, what are all the ribbon lengths, what are all your item numbers and SKU numbers, and where'd you buy it. The only thing I cannot do is if something's discontinued, the only thing you can do, like me, is you just have to find a comparable alternative. So this one was like a backwards design for me because I started with the mesh color. I didn't have the sign. I just had this mesh color and the 2 ribbons. And I was like, oh, I really want to use the new stuff that just came in, because it's nice. Then you guys can go out and hopefully find it still, if it's available. All the way around. Sometimes I find that I don't truly go all the way around behind it, and sometimes I can see it sticking out. So I have to go back in and put it back in. So for me, Vivian, I just started with the darker green and stayed with that hunter green. And here we are, back to color theory. White or cream is your neutral. And then we have gold, which is a neutral. So you can, with that, go up and down in your color palette with various shades of green, and you're still going to have a really good look because you're pairing it with neutrals. So if you guys like that, and that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, come join the private group. We'd love to have you. Okay, we've got just a couple more of these left to do. And now we are going back with stripes on the bottom. Okay, we're going... I've got to get to Hobby Lobby. I think I might go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow, because I want to get some nutcrackers. But it's an hour from here. But I really want to help those of you that are struggling with a lot of the new nutcracker colors. So I think what I might do is we might go into Hobby Lobby and we might just do a, like, let's shop for the entire wreath design using only things we find at Hobby Lobby. Then we're going to come back home, and that week we will put together the entire design with only the things that we found at Hobby Lobby. So like all the ribbon has to be available. All the embellishments have to be available. All the Deco mesh, everything. Like, let's go in, see what we can find, and then we're going to come out and we're going to make something with what we find. So that you guys could go into your local Hobby Lobby. And then I think we'll do that for like Michael's, Joann's, and Dollar Tree. And we'll try to completely design something around just what we find at the store. Hi, Maria. Wouldn't it be easier for you if you shopped online? It just takes a long time to get here. So yes and no. Just yes, it would be easier to shop online, but then I'd have to wait. And I don't know how long it would take before it would ship. Okay, so this one we're doing polka dots down. But I just want you guys to see that you can go in and do the same thing. So I will film the whole thing, going in, picking out all the stuff, literally everything, just from that store. And then that week we'll come back and we'll build the entire wreath. Because a lot of people don't shop online. Okay, last one. I think I'm really going to throw those clippers away, the wire cutters. Because they are just, there's not much to them anymore. And then from here, you can decide which pattern do you want to see. Like, do you want to see pine trees? Do you want to see the newer ribbon on the outside? You pick. Like, I'm going with, I think, the new ribbon on the outside. So I'm going to pick these. So I'm just going to go around and pull those to the front, primarily. So tuck these just under. And I think I have one more here. Yep. So now I have all the polka dot. So that's what you see primarily. This is our sign that we're using. So this is going to go inside our design, the Merry Christmas banner. And then we're going to add a bow. And then we're going to embellish it. So we've got a lot of space here. So let's see what we can do, because I don't like that much space in the center. This is where if you had something like a green sign or a round sign, something like this, it kind of fills the space so that you can come in and just accent with a simple bow and you're done. When you're doing something with a small sign, like this is, it's 15 inches long. At its widest, we're like about six and a quarter. So we're going to kind of position it in the center. We're going to put our bow up here at the top. We could put our bow at the bottom if we wanted and then embellish at the top, but I think I want bow at the top. We'll embellish down here. So really, we just have this much space to contend with. So, okay, oops, sorry. I just tapped my screen and that went off. So let's go ahead and build our bow. This is super light, like super, super lightweight with that breeze mesh. It is really light. Elizabeth says, I guess I never thought about it. My Hobby Lobby is an hour away from my house. All the stores are in Flagstaff, and I live 20 miles out of Flagstaff. Okay. Well, that makes sense, right? So I am bringing in all the colors that we have used. We have this, we have this, we've used this, we've used this. We're bringing back the pine trees in the smaller, and then the gold. I think I'm actually going to run with the way this is right now, so that we have these two on the outside. So let's take these, set those aside. We are doing the 2.5 inch. We're going to dovetail the end, which simply means just bring your wired edges together. We are going to cut from the folded side to this wired point. It's always, the destination's always the same. And depending upon how high up you come on your ribbon, depends how deep your V is. So we are going with 10-inch tail. So I'm going to gather at 10 inches. I'm going to twist. We're using the Bodabra. We're going to slide that inside. We are going to make our loops to where they end. When I take the Bodabra and set it on the 10-inch line, I want my loop ends to end here at 5.5 inches. So there's one, up and around, move it back to 10, stretch it out. We're a little on the thicker side. And now we're going to go back out. Now we're going to cut 10-inch tail. We're going to dovetail the end from the fold to the wired point. Okay, there's that one. This ribbon is from Joann's 2 years ago. Now we are taking that new ribbon from Craft Outlet, matching up our wired edges back down to the point. And we are going with 9.5 inches. So we're going to gather at 9.5. We're going to twist, place that back in the Bodabra. We are going to measure out 5-inch loops this time. So always bring it back so the center is lined up on your 10-inch line. This way, when you go to stretch them out, you can see that they end at like 5 or 5.5 or whatever measurement you have. So we're going to do it on this side. Let's verify our measurement. We're at 5. And now we can cut at 9.5. And then we will dovetail the end right there. And this one's all set. My pin just does not want to go through that polyester. Okay, now we're going to take our sagey green plaid from Craft Outlet, dovetail the end. We're measuring this one out to 9 inches. We're going to gather and twist. That's always the same fluid motion. We're always twisting, laying it on the inside. This time our loop lengths are going to be 4.5 inches. So I'm good there. We're going to do the same. 4.5. And then back out. We want to verify it ends at 9 inches. And then dovetail that end. Okay. That's all set. Vivian says, we just got a Hobby Lobby not too far from me. I do prefer to see things in person just because the colors never quite come through on the website the way they really look. I totally agree with you. Wholeheartedly. Firmly believe that. They never come out that way. Or you can feel the quality like, hey, is that polyester? Is that canvas? What's happening there? Okay, now we're going to measure out 8.5 inches. We're going to gather, place that right on the inside. This ribbon is a little challenging because the design is painted on the outside. So where you see that white tree, it's really thick paint. So it does not like to bend. And so we're doing these at 4.5 inches, same as what we had before. So we can put our fingers in both, pull, but we still have to line it back up here to make sure, oops, we can get this to 8.5 inches. Okay, that one is all set. Your Bodabra also loosens. It doesn't hold your ribbon well. Does yours stay tight? Yes, it does, Vivian. And you know what's funny is I've had this Bodabra for 7 years. It's the same Bodabra I started with. I have a new one. I'm just not using it yet because this one still works. So it shouldn't come loose. And I use mine for everything. I mean, you watch me stuff all kinds of stuff in there. For the angels, you know, our burlap. I like really stuff it full. This last one's going to be 8 inches. And then we're doing a 4-inch loop. Right there's 4. We're going to bring it up and over. Sometimes the ribbon itself can be like slippery and loose, in which case it just doesn't want to stay in there. So if you see, I'm like really holding my ends so that they don't slide out as I'm moving the ribbon roll around. So like here, I just have to reseat it. But it's pretty loose. I mean, it's not overly tight in there. Right, where did the pin go? I knew this one had a pin. So this one was from Michael's, but it's just your standard gold. But this is not a glitter, it's a tinsel. And then our last one is from Hobby Lobby. And this last one's going to be 7.5 inches with a 3.5 inch loop. So I just like putting something fancy on the top because it's what you see first when you look at the bow. So there's 3.5. See, so I'm holding it as I'm turning it around. And then measuring, still holding that ribbon in place, even as I'm pulling it out, so that I can make sure that everything, you know, goes in the bow dabber without too much pinching, and make sure everything's lined up correctly. I don't know why dude came out my question. Spell check our phones. That's just what happens. Okay, we are going to grab a pipe cleaner. I'm going to pick this whole thing up as it's stacked in here. I'm going to just offset my fingers so I can drop the pipe cleaner down. I'm going to hold it at the bottom and I'm going to twist. Just like so. We'll get our fluff board because this is going to be a top bow. We need to make sure that we have our ribbons going in the direction we need to. So I'm going to slide this on my C-hook, which all it does is it holds it by the pipe cleaner so that I can just move the ribbons around as I'm pulling them out. Starting from the bottom, I have my loop going to the left, tail to the right. Here, I'm going to go opposite. So my tail's going to go to the left, my loop is going to go to the right. This is, like I said, where you can readjust any of your loops that got pinched. Here, we're going to bring the next one down. We're going to go opposite. So tail goes to the left, loop to the right. Go over to the other side. We're going to take our tail, bring it over to the left, and our loop, or right to the left. So as you can see, what's happening is it's staggering loops and tails. It's just alternating the colors. From here, I'm going to follow the pine tree pattern, so I have a loop and the tail. Just going right there. Go find that on the other side. Here's the loop. There's the tail. Now I'm going to follow the green with the polka dot. There's the loop. There's the tail. Find it on the other side. There's the tail. Here's my loop. Next ribbon down, we're going opposite. We're going back on that sage. So there's the loop and my tail. Here's my loop and then my tail, and then that green is going to go right on top of our pine. So right there, and then right here. Okay, here's all the tails, just like so. Here's all the loops in the center. It just makes really, when you're fluffing this way and building your bow this way, it allows you to basically just know where all your tails are. It allows you to kind of figure out where are you going to put your sign, your embellishments. If you're adding another bow, you're going to do the same. So I'm lifting the next two. So I just like the trees in the middle. So I'm going to pull the plaid to the outside, trees in the middle of those. And then we're going to open up the last bottom two. We don't want to have flat edges, which means no flat edges here. So just give them some really good fluffing. Just put your fingers inside and just roll those up. Position them any which way you want them to be. And then for the tails, we're just going to run them through our fingers, which will kind of put a little arch back in them. So it'll follow the Deco mesh around and lay to the outside. So just like this, all the way to the bottom, although you can't really tell so much with the bottom ones because they're laying flat on the board. But you can, you know, kind of lay everything out however you want those to be displayed so that you can see everything. But there's your bow for that wreath. Super simple. Thanks, Deborah. She says, Kat makes it look so easy. Well, I've been doing it for, this is going on my 8th year. So once you get it down pat, you get it going. It just becomes second nature to you. Okay, so here's our base. I'm going to go ahead and prep my sign, which simply is just removing the twine off the sign. And then I am going to remove any of the stickers, any of the caution stuff, because we never know how long those get put on there. So I just use it's like a window scraper. You can get them at the automotive places. I think I got this one at Amazon. So it just allows you to get up underneath those so you're not having to pull them off. I want to make sure my sign is right side up. We're going to add a business card. There we go. So that our clients know where they got it from. So we're just going to glue this on the back. Okay. There we go. Just like so. And then we're going to glue, not glue, we're going to staple our pipe cleaners. So I'm going to put them right here on the banner edges using staples. So just right here at the end. So I'm just going to kind of put this one right here. I'm going to twist so it doesn't pull through. I'm going to add glue just to be on the safe side. We're going to take the other one and we're going to put this right here. So I'm using 1/4 inch staples on a quarter, as long as my sign is a 1/4 inch or more. So let's twist once, We'll go ahead and glue, just like so. So our sign is all ready to go. Okay, we're going to place this right in the center, so I kind of want to pull my loops back so I have full access to my Deco mesh pieces. So I'm kind of going right in between these loops, kind of like right there, so it kind of falls right in between. So I'm going to pick these up. You can go under. It's going to take it a minute to get down to the bottom because of our mesh. Using a pipe cleaner, I want to make sure that my sign is on either side. See how I'm making sure that it kind of pops between these two. So I'm bringing it forward, right down to the frame. I'm going to do the same over here. Right in between these is where that banner is going to come. We're going to pull that back. And I want to make sure I get it on either side of my rail so that I have a nice, good, and secured frame. Nice and tight. We're going to make sure that those stay nice and pretty right there. That's how it is. Now, because we know where our loops are, because we built our bow, knowing where the loops are, we can actually bring this in and have the tails kind of cascade out this way. I am going to just take and lightly just push some of my Deco mesh that might just be causing, like if I was to lay my bow on here, it's going to kind of push it up like this is. So I'm just making sure it's laid underneath. I'm going to pull my ribbons back just like this. Call it a bow home. It's where a bow's going to sit. And I want to make sure my trees go, I guess it doesn't matter. The trees are going to go up, but at the bottom it's going to be kind of down here. But up here is roughly where I want it to go. I just got to make sure I can actually hit the frame. Because if you ever have a bow that is just kind of all wishy-washy, it's just flopping around, a lot of times it's you don't have enough of an anchor point on your wreath. You may not have it around two separate loops. Just pushing that down so I know how far I can go without collapsing my bow. And from here, I'm just going to take my ribbon tails, and I want that to kind of cascade around our sign. Just like that. Just like that. Now we can pull everything back in the center. So it has a nice cascade effect. So now we just have to worry about this part down here. If we wanted to, we could add another bow, but I think if we did that, we would completely lose sight that there is any dark green mesh in there whatsoever. So let's look at what can we do to minimize all this Deco mesh here. So I definitely want to make sure that my pieces of Deco mesh that were like, they're popping up right here, I just want to make sure those go underneath. I want to make sure that we have all of our bows in place, all of our ribbons where they need to be, because we were fitting it for the bow. Okay. Let's go ahead and add some pine. So this is from Hobby Lobby. It's called, I think it's called Balsam and Pine, like balsam and pine cones. And they cut in like little 3. This one actually has 4. Usually they come in three pieces. And then some come with the little pine cones. I'm not going to use the plastic pine cones. And let's see what I can do. So I'm going to kind of come in at an angle. That's a 4. Do we have another 4? No, but we have a 3. So I kind of like how we are bringing this in at an angle, kind of like that. Okay. I'm going to redistribute my mesh so that it lays different than the way that it is. So it lays more flat, more flush, like that. Let's see what ends up happening if we do one here. I'm just looking, because sometimes it's all just about seeing what works. Okay, let me try this. And let's grab some actual real pine cones. So, believe it or not, Hobby Lobby has the real pine cones. So we can actually bring some of those in. There are a whole bunch of different ones. So I'm kind of placing those right at the base of where those picks are. Trying to find the right colors. Maybe this one. Okay. Let me see how I like that. I'm trying to think, like, there needs to be, for me, there needs to be something here. I haven't decided what just yet. Let me, because I'm just framing my banner a little bit differently. So I'm kind of taking my banner a bit and just kind of taking these little ends right here so that this is kind of framing. So you have that one going in. So this would need to go in a bit. So I'm thinking like so. Let me look. I like this one. I'm not so sure about this one. So that one is going in the crook. So it's going the same direction, totally opposite. A gold snowflake or an ornament, Beck said. I'm not sure. What do I have that is gold? Do I have like a gold? Let me look. I definitely feel it. We need something. Snowflakes. Trying to see if I have like a gold reindeer. I know I have lots of gold balls, clear balls. Let's see if we have a gold. Let's see. So we do have this. Let's see what we think about that. It has to lay just the right way. Let me take there's like a little ornament hanger thing on it. Like that. How about a light spray of gold paint on the pine cones? We could, let me think. I'm not sure that I like it. Let me look. because sometimes I just keep the most random things nearby, because I'm always like, hey, put this in a wreath. Hey, put that in a wreath. Let's see what else is in the box. We have different snowflakes. I know we have gold jingle bells, but I think that would just be weird. Let's look. Ooh. Let me maybe. Get my nose over. I do have a gold pine pig. So let's see. I also brought jingle bells too. So let's see. So I do have this. So this is just going in, and I think I like this better than the other. So I like that in the center of our design. And then I want to elevate the gold a bit. So let's, because I was thinking, oh, here's my other idea, was that we could pair like a set of jingle bells like this, but it'd be really difficult to try to get them to stay in the center. I have to like work at that one a little bit more. So let's tuck this in to the center, just like this. I like that. And then I think just to elevate that color into the outside. Hold on. Now that I put the backdrop there, keeps me from having access to all my supplies that were normally right behind me. So we have this. So we have, like, we can add some of these to the bottoms. Ooh, I like that. Let me just see if I want them at the bottom of every one. No. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add one of the glitter balls that is really close to that color. They're kind of like little prism balls, but I'm putting them on the sage right underneath, just to bring that pop of gold down into this design. So just right underneath those. Every single place there's that sage. I'm just tucking them right underneath. And then we will add the pine cones. Because this is a different color. That's like actually a more champagne color than a true gold. But we do have the gold up here. I do have one right underneath the bow. So we're going to tuck one of those there. And we will also probably, okay, let's go ahead and secure these. I'm going to remove the fake pine cone. We are going to cover that balsam base. Okay, how did Cat have that? I think I had it like this, didn't I? Yes. I want to just like go right back really quick on my thing. And then we're going to add a pine cone to that. I probably went the other way. So right in there. I'm going to take this out. This is going to go behind this grain. So up and over. We're taking this right underneath. We will add our pine cone. Okay, and do the same here. Just kind of little candy cane swirl there. Making sure we pull all our glue threads off. Not using that pine cone. I picked up the fake one again. I don't like using the fake ones if I can avoid it. I'm leaving that there so it's my spacer. And just making sure we have a really good coat of glue there. Kind of come in between. Kind of check that down. Okay, pull this back. Same thing. And I guess you could have done this whole design if you didn't want to do a Deco mesh wreath. You could have done it all on an evergreen wreath form. Okay, we're going to remove fake pine cone here. I was paying attention on this one, so we are going to get that one there. And let's get a more realistic pine cone. That one's too small. Let's get a little bigger. That one's kind of cute. School bus. Can always tell. Pull this one apart. Okay, I think we've got most of the glue threads gone and disappeared. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this to the center. So I want to make sure that it is anchored in there really nice. Okay, pull that back, and then I'm looking at the top, deciding, do I want to do pine cone in there, or do I want to do glitter ball? And I haven't decided. Okay, what do you guys think is best for the top inside the center of our bow? Should we add a pine cone, or should we add a gold ball to the center? What do you think? What say you? I know I'm thinking some other things too, like I just kind of stuck these just in random places around here. just to pull the gold into our pine cones. Like that. And then I would need one more kind of down here. I like that. You know what I say? If you like it, make it stick. You guys all say pine cone? Really? Jamie, I agree with you. I think we should put some greenery in the bow. But let me get these little things glued in. Kind of like just random little dots. Just wherever on the design. Okay. To where they're there, but they're not really there. Did I do this one? No. I think I'll bring this one out and put it there. Because there's like this, I think it's the place where the pine cone was. Okay, so you guys said put a pine cone in. So we could do a bigger pine cone too. And maybe add some greenery. Let's look. Because I have one more pick that we can break down into individual little pine branches. So we could kind of put those. Ooh, that looks really pretty. Good. Right, it carries the theme from the bottom to the top. I like it like that. Let's see if we can get one more to kind of go. I like the little trio. Okay, that works. So, like what it looks like from your guys' perspective. So I am going to place our greenery in a triangle. You know, it's all about odds. We're going to put this one right under here. And then we're going to put our pine cone in right smack dab in the center. And it does. It carries the theme all the way down and through the design. And if you really, really wanted to go an extra step further, you could technically bring your greenery, like I had 2 pieces left. Where are they? You could bring some of your greenery down into the bottom portion of your wreath and just have those pieces come out. But at that point, I feel like it's just a little bit overdone. So you ready to see it on the door? I'm going to pivot you up. Here we go. Okay, let's take this down just a bit. There we go. Okay, so we are going to move this one down, and we're going to move this one up. Let me make sure. I think I got all my glue threads. I was trying to get them as I was building it. But look. Whoop. Got to stick it quite on the door. Did I get it on the door? Feels like it's not solid. There we go. Okay, so make sure all of your ribbon tails, because I did this in the last video and I realized there was one ribbon tail that I did not get to. By the time I was doing the video on it, I found that ribbon. I was like, ugh, I have to redo the video because I see that one ribbon tail. So I'm a stickler about all the glue threads too. Those all show up in videos. So just make sure all of your ribbon tail ends are all straight. They're all like standing at attention. Like up here. even these. There's that glue thread. Okay. Just like that. Okay, everything nice and pretty. There we go. That's that final design. Let me zoom in so you guys can actually see it. I think that'll show it so you guys can see it a little bit better. So just something a little bit different using that banner sign, because that banner sign is not super big. So how do you fill space? So we had that whole lower half. You could have put a bow in the bottom, but I think had we put a bow at the bottom, it would have hidden all the hunter green mesh. You would have only really seen it if you were looking at it, but then you would see it in these little places here, but you would miss it all in the center of the design. So awesome. I'm glad you guys like this. So remember, you have all my recommendations. The breeze mesh is a go. I definitely think that is a worthwhile buy. At $3.95 a roll at craftoutlet.com. You can't go wrong. If you order $69 or more with them, you get free shipping, which is a steal. So if you're designing something, design with like maybe 3 designs in mind so that you're spending roughly about $25, and then you hitting that $69 minimum is a no-brainer. Order some picks, order some things that you could use, like with the ribbon that I got. I can use those for St. Patrick's Day too. So while it's Christmas, it's in that seasonal section, I can also use it throughout the year. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.